YouTube friends and family, welcome back. I'm Rob Banks and this is the Red Cup Review. And on today's episode, we're going to be looking at the Hot Toys Movie Master Series Count Dooku figure, right from Star Wars. It's a great figure and it's fresh in the Collector's Own Cantina, right? It's a secret Facebook group that everybody should join because they're basically the sponsors of this episode. So thank you, Collector's Own. And I hope you guys appreciate this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Over here in the bottom hand corner, you're going to see how to join the secret group, right? So pay attention to me, pay attention to that, and pay attention to this. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. Glad to have you guys back. For those of you that join me week after week, we've got some more giveaways coming soon. Let's take a closer look at this amazing figure. And I forgot to mention something really important to you guys. I put this figure up on my shelf. It put all the other figures on my shelf, all the other Hot Toys and 6 scales on notice. Because it has the same commanding and regal presence that Christopher Lee does. Christopher Lee's awesome. This guy was doing heavy metal music way into his 80s. Right? He was the second most recognizable Dracula besides Bela Lugosi, possibly the first. He was in the first Dracula movie next to Peter Cushing. For those of you who don't know who he is, that was Grand Moff Tarkin. And I think he deserved a bigger role in the prequels. And that's my question here to you guys. Did Count Dooku deserve more screen time in the prequels? I think he did. He's awesome. The figure's awesome. Let's get to the review. We're going to start here by taking a look at the portrait. And the portrait, I got to tell you guys, is top notch. It's more than top notch. It's some of the best stuff Hot Toys has ever done, especially in the paintwork. Accuracy, that's another thing entirely. However, I'm going to take a little spin around for you guys. Just take a look at the way the eyes catch the light and how lifelike it is and how human it really looks. The paintwork on the face itself is absolutely stellar. Some of the best paintwork, if not the best paintwork I've ever seen on an action figure, 6 scale that is, thus far, right? Just take a look at that. Look at the way the hair is sculpted. Take a look at the back of this thing. Let's flip this thing around. Look at the way the hair sits on the back. It just looks so natural and real, right? Absolutely amazing. Bravo. As far as a Hot Toy goes, this is stellar. 5 stars, 5 cups. But we're going to do a little bit of a side-by-side comparison now because I'm of two minds about this head sculpt. So as is, it's pretty perfect. Now you guys are going to roll your eyes at me and say, well, what the hell are you going to tell us now? When you take a look at him side-by-side with actually the actor Christopher Lee, you can see that the paint on the hair is inaccurate. Christopher Lee is actually more white and less gray as far as the accuracy goes. He also has a little bit more dark spots in his beard, that is. And the eyebrows. The eyebrows are a little bit too perfect. See, the Hot Toy figure is really perfect, but that's also something that works against it. The eyebrows on the Hot Toy figure should have been a little bit more bushy, as you can see by the actor here. However, other than that, and that's being super critical, guys, excellent work. In this part of the video, we're going to be taking a look at the articulation, the outfit, and the tailoring of the outfit. And we're going to start off with the tailoring because here's something I noticed. As soon as I took him out of the box and put him on his stand, little details like this really set a figure above and beyond some of the other ones that are in your collection. Now, for those of you that have a keen eye, or for those of you who have been to a suit maker, right? A guy that actually makes custom suits, you'll notice that when you're in there and getting fitted for the suit, a good suit maker will always tell you that the jacket is not to fall below the second knuckle on either of your hands. Obviously, it has to be tailored to be even, right? So it's supposed to never fall here. So on your hand, a good suit maker will tell you that the jacket, when your arms are down, are not supposed to fall below this knuckle or the fat part of this hand. It's got to fall somewhere in that little sweet spot when your arms are down at your side, and that's exactly what Hot Toys was able to nail with this figure. It's just something like that it just makes me happy. Onto the cape. The Count has got a cape that's, well, made for a Count. It's made of 2 different materials. It's double layered. The outside is suede, at least it feels like suede, and the inside has a very silk feel. This is the type of quality you would expect from a $250, $260 toy, and again, Hot Toys delivered. It drapes very, very nicely. I know a lot of guys like to do that pose, right? You guys, you can work with this cape. It's got some weight to it. It's really got a nice, excellent drape effect with it, especially with the double stitching. They did an excellent job. All the stitching lines are very well done. Over the shoulder here, there's a stitch line that runs around the shoulder. The lines that run across his back give him a little bit more heft and width in his shoulder area, which is accurate and nice. As you guys can see here, right around the shoulder here. Very well done. Very little left to be desired. Borderline perfect. Anything else, you'd need a Hollywood to make it for you. These lapels could have been metal, Doesn't really matter though. The coloring on them is nice. The paintwork is fine. They are made of plastic. The chain is metal. That's good enough for me. Getting onto the outfit itself, it's a little puffy. He's got a little bit of a fat suit thing going on underneath there, which is fine because it puffs his chest out a little bit. It works. It's done nice. It's perfect. Look at the stitching on this. It's very well done. Nice little fold here along the side. And if you want to fix that fold, if it comes out of the package, you kind of just tug a little bit on the bottom there, and you'll get this to stop bunching up. The belt itself is faux leather, I would presume, right? It's got a faux leather feel to it. It's done very nicely. All the lines are nice and great and done very well. I'm not a fan of the lightsaber piece where it connects, but I'll get to that a little later. The pants, very nicely tailored. Mine are a little bit more baggy on this area than this, which is fine because I put them in dynamic poses. They are tucked into the boots, so good luck. Don't untuck them. That's all I need to say about that. And as far as the boots go, they are very nicely done. Think of the way Han Solo's boots were done. I think this is an improvement over the Han Solo boots because they don't feel like they're going to defade as fast or crack as much. Remember, you guys, if you're going to be having figures like this, get a dehumidifier in your basements if you're in a muggy area. Keep the room temperature appropriate. You guys should be fine. But again, the tailoring on the figure and the outfit is super top notch. Now we're going to be taking a look at his articulation, which is pretty damn good. I must say, we're going to have him in this weird looking pose right now because I want to focus on his boots for a second because I actually have his legs spread out about as wide as they can go, and I have his ankles turned all the way in. So for those of you guys that don't want to use a stand with your Hot Toys figures, you're not going to need to use one for this, especially if you want to put him in a dynamic pose because the feet fit flat against the floor. The ball joint in the ankle is absolutely stellar. Goes front, goes back, it goes all around. It's great. Double jointed in the knees, the swivel in the thigh. The waist is pretty good. You get some good waist turns with him, even though he has the underlying fat suit, so you can kind of like twist him like that and have him still looking kind of forward, which is nice. His arms go up about this high. Now, I wouldn't push it any more than that. You could probably get it to go maybe even a little bit higher, but I'm not going to do that now for the sake of the video with the double joints there. You can get him to go about that far as going straight in front of him. You'll probably be able to get it even a little bit more if you manipulate it and kind of pull the clothing down, but don't push it too much because you could feel it starting to get snug once it hits about that point. As far as the head sculpt goes, let's bring it up. Oh, not that far. Apparently, you guys got to look at what we're looking to do with the Red Cup review in the future. All right. He looks up about that high. He looks down about that low. Master Yoda. And then he looks side to side all around. You get a lot of nice expressions with this fella here. And as far as the way the sculpt goes, as far as catching the light, I got the lights beaming right in this guy's face right now. I didn't touch upon this in the head sculpt section, but depending on the type of light you guys are working with, I know the sculpt may look a little soft. However, you could kind of like manipulate the light. Let's see if I can do it with my hand a little bit, where you can catch some more of the shadows in the face sculpt, and you can actually make the lines in his face stand out a little bit more than that too. That's it, guys. He's great. Damn great. I don't want to pretend like I know how you guys are going to be displaying your Count Dooku. I would assume that most of you are probably going to be putting him next to the prequel version of Yoda. However, he's not out yet, and I'm not getting that many other characters from the prequels besides Dooku over here and Darth Maul when he releases. But I wanted to show you guys a little bit of a height comparison to show you how Dooku stacks up in case you wanted to do like a dark side shelf or something like that. Now, I don't know if the video is picking this up, but I could tell you just from eyeballing it that Count Dooku is about 1/4 of an inch taller than Kylo Ren and about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch shorter than Vader. Now, Vader over here is kind of leaning in because I have him posed on my shelf next to Luke, but there you guys have it. So that's pretty much how he's going to stack up next to the other Hot Toy dark side using characters. Like a diamond dealer for Hot Toys, right? Here are the accessories laid out on the velvet here, and we're going to be taking a look at each of them one by one. We're going to start off with the hand. The hand has excellent paintwork on it, as you can see there, with all the spots and freckles and stuff like that. Each hand is just as detailed. Nice little wrinkling on the fingers. He's got his little Star Wars from a galaxy far, far away Nextel there, with the little hole that you could plug in these other little accessories to. Take a look at the Emperor real quick. What's awesome about these is that they actually have that ridge work, and that's molded ridges. So like you can see how my finger is actually catching on the ridges there, my nail. Very well done. It's translucent, so it gives it off that nice glow. And the way it's molded, it makes it look darker and lighter in certain places, which is pretty cool. Then you got Over here, the Death Star, which has got a really great mold to it. I love this scene in the movie. I couldn't stand the movie, but that didn't mean I didn't like things about it. This was actually pretty cool. I enjoyed that. Moving on to the Jango Fett one. This one's probably the nicest looking one with the most detail in the character itself. Take a look at his backpack. It looks great. Yeah, I love the way that looks, man. Just it absolutely looks stellar. And then you got your little duck droid here, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Couldn't stand these characters either. This isn't about bashing the prequels, though, guys. I know a lot of people out there love them. This looks great, though. You know, it doesn't matter what I thought. The figure is very well done, right? Very good molds on them as well. Now, what you would do is you would take the bottom peg here and put it into the communicator, right? You're going to squeeze it in there. You're going to be real careful, though. I wouldn't put it in too far. I mean, you could if you're going to just keep it in there, right? It sits in there itself. Now, I'm on an angle here, guys, so you got to excuse the angle. But, you know, you can get the hand to grip it, and it stays there pretty good. But I can't, if I turn it back, let's see, if I lean it back, hey, look, it even holds. So that's pretty cool. So you can manipulate it to get it to hold. I'm looking down right now, guys, so gravity is not an issue with this. Moving on to the actual lightsaber. Red lightsaber is pretty much the same standard one that comes with all the other figures. Here's a nit. The actual sculpt on the lightsaber handle itself is very well done. I love it. I love the grip work. However, the paint, it's a little too flat silver for me, man. It needed to be a little bit more, not gunmetal in color, but maybe a little more chrome. Give it more of a realistic look and not so much of a plastic look. And it's a shame because everything else about this figure is absolutely stellar. You take the lightsaber hilt here and you plug it in there. It fits in pretty easily. How do you pull this thing out? Don't grab it and yank it, okay? It's not your, yeah. You take it, you give it a little, maybe a little twist. Little twist there. Come on. Come on, twist out, man. There we go. Perfect. See? Be careful. You don't want to snap this piece off. I'll get into this piece in a second. Let's get on to the rest of the accessories. These lightning effects are great. They're translucent as well. They look wonderful. They look great. They look realistic. It's amazing how good they look, right? They even attach to the hands. So let's take like one of the Force lightning hands, right? You take it. You see how it looks like that, right? Where there's like little pieces where it looks like his hand might almost fit in there, right? Wrap it around his fingers, right? You want it to kind of look like he's casting it out of his hand, right? So you got to do it in a way where he's kind of, where it's wrapped into his fingers and such. Get it around there, manipulate it, and it looks good, right? It'll look, well, here, use it with this one. Take a look at this one. Here we go. This is the one I used before. There we go. See how it slipped on much easier with this one? Right, it goes on there, and it looks great. There you go. See, like he's casting it right out of his hand. However, here's an issue with these things. Let's tilt the camera up, right? I hate when the accessory sections go on this long, but I got to show you guys this. So I seen this on a forum. This is really long. In order for this thing to work really with your collectible, you're going to have Yoda on the other side of this or something, because just watch. Your hand's going to go here. See how it's wobbly? They should have molded this in a tougher, harder plastic, because as time goes on, look, guys, look, you can see it, right? You see it right there? It's starting to dip. I know I'm putting my finger on it, but over time, gravity is going to get this thing bent right there in the middle, right at this piece right here. So you're going to need somebody on the other end of this, and unfortunately, they're really long, which is pretty accurate, because he was standing pretty far away from Yoda when he casted the Force lightning at him. However, over time, I'm telling you, these things are going to dip. So you're going to need something on the other end of this to kind of try to keep it up. And hopefully it won't do one of those things and sag in the middle. That's yet to be seen, though. Moving it along. All right, now the number one issue with this figure is how the lightsaber hilt fits onto his belt. At least I'm having trouble with it. Now, they come with these two tiny pieces. Look at how tiny that thing is, right? See that little ridge on it? That little plug there? That goes into the side of the lightsaber right there. And it goes in. And it's loose in there. It's really not snug, so it kind of slides in and out pretty easily, right? Once you get it in there, you got to take it, and there's a ridge in here, and you just got to kind of rest it on there. And it rests nicely, right? It looks good. Good job, guys. You blow on this too hard, and it's going to shake and fall right off. And then this little thing right here is going to slip right out. I almost lost this thing and the other one twice just laying it on this black cloth that I have here. So be extra careful when putting your lightsaber hilt onto your Count Dooku figure. You could probably squeeze it in there, maybe let it sit on the ridge, and yep, there it goes, and it just fell. You can risk trying to get this thing to sit in there and squeeze it, but I wouldn't risk snapping this peg. So Dooku ain't getting it on. He ain't going to have it on the lightsaber staying in his hand. All right? That's all, folks. In conclusion, we just want to say thanks everybody for watching, and if you haven't already and you made it this far, hit the like button and consider subscribing. Count Dooku is getting 4.75 cups from the Red Cup review because he's a practically perfect figure. I mean, he's not totally perfect, but we already went over that earlier. He displays great. The articulation is awesome. You can get him in some pretty awesome dynamic poses. He's going to look wonderful next to that Yoda that's coming out. Personally, me, I'm going with Darth Maul next to him on the shelf, but to each his own. What else more can I say about this figure? Great head sculpt, great tailoring, the cape is fantastic and wonderful. That's it. He's awesome, man. There's a couple of nits here and there that hold him back, but not enough to really bring him down. Not even a full notch. So that's it. That's all we got here from the Red Cup review. I hope you guys enjoyed these photos. And this is what he's going to look like basically on your shelf, guys. This is him. This is the way he's going to look. No green screens, nothing else. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Go check out the Collector's Zone Canteen on Facebook. They're the reason why we're doing this video today. And we'll see you on the next episode.